Alright, so the Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer beta happened a few weeks ago, and I know I'm pretty late on it, but I needed some time to get my thoughts together because I have some thoughts. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. Let's start off with the gameplay. First thing you're going to notice when you boot up this game is that the movement speed is kind of nuts. Like, just movement in general is a lot faster, which I'm pretty sure a lot of the COD community is pretty jazzed about. But I mean, if you've seen a few of my videos, I'm not too big of a fan of that kind of movement speed. But you know, it's what they wanted and that's what they got. That's fine. However, a similar critique that I had in the X Defiant video that I'm applying to this one as well, the reload speed it's weird how the reload speed just doesn't match the movement speed. So it's like a very inconsistent pacing of movement and reloading whenever you run out of, you know, ammunition. It's kind of annoying. Like, you know, pick a lane. Like, do you want to go fast or do you want to wait around for your reload? I'm pretty sure there's going to be some perks or some equipment, which we'll go into later, that kind of help with that. Like sleight of hand maybe might be something you get with the gloves. As of right now, I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of this inconsistency with the gameplay. But that's just me. Health is now at 150 instead of the usual 100, and I primarily played team deathmatch for this beta, so that's really my whole experience for the beta. So I've noticed, yeah, because the health is 150, TTK or time to kill is noticeably slower. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is still kind of up in the air for me, but it's definitely going to take some getting used to if you're coming in from, you know, Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 2019 into this one. It's going to be a bit of a transition. Now, I mentioned earlier about equipment. This is where things get a little weird. I feel like some perks got transferred over to these equipment. So you have gloves, boots, headgear, and attack vest, if I remember correctly. And all of these give you different variations. I feel like this is going to be the new system we're going to move forward with, and I don't think it's a terrible one, but again, just something you're going to have to get used to. For example, there's a vest that gives you overkill, so you can have the two primary weapons instead of primary weapon and a sidearm. One thing I do find annoying about all of this is that there is a pair of boots that give no audio for footsteps while you're wearing them, which is frustrating for a player like me who plays a lot of Counter-Strike. Over the years playing Counter-Strike, I've learned to condition my hearing to listen out for footsteps around me. That's a good way for me to stay situationally aware. It's just going to be another COD thing coming back, but in the form of equipment, which again, I'm not a huge fan of the no footsteps thing, but in my next point, when we talk about audio, it might not even matter at that point. So getting into the audio as a whole, let's start with the movement audio because it's still hit and miss. Sometimes I do hear footsteps, sometimes I don't. I wasn't sure if those boots were being used actively, where you got rid of the movement audio during the beta, but from what I could tell, it's just inconsistent. I'm not a huge fan of not being able to hear footsteps in general, but also if it's just something to do with the game, like a bug or something like that. But yeah, still hit and miss. Not a huge fan of it, but it's COD, so what are you gonna do? Now, when it comes to the audio design, however, I'm actually really liking that. So what do I mean by this? I mean, like, gun sounds, you know, when you fire your weapon. So a lot of these guns sound pretty punchy. They all have, not all of them, but some of them have more unique sounds now. I'm a huge fan of the sounds the hit markers make, the sound that goes off when you get kills. Big fans of that. I love the way it sounds. That's awesome. I hope that shit stays because it just sounds super cool. Now, voice acting is pretty good. That's par for the course for COD. You know, you get a new COD game coming out, especially nowadays, a lot of the voice acting is going to be pretty top notch. Nothing to really write home about there, but in the beta, there was a bug that repeated lines over and over again. Like, not forever, but it got really annoying whenever you would see like a grenade land near you, or you throw a grenade and you hear your character blurt out, "There's a grenade coming," 5 to 6 times. It gets a little redundant and annoying, but I'm pretty sure that's just a bug with beta. I'm pretty sure that kind of thing is going to be fixed by the time the game gets released, so I'm not too worried about that there. Now, here's the thing about the Gunsmith, all right? So this whole Gunsmith situation, generally, when it just comes to putting attachments on your weapons, making your build, things like that, you know, I'm okay with that, but unlocking stuff, that whole system is back in Modern Warfare 3. And I don't like that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of COD fans don't like that either, because I don't want to use, like, let's say I'm using an M4, for example, right? And I want to unlock everything. I have to use like a submachine gun and a shotgun and level those guns up to a particular level to unlock an attachment for my M4 assault rifle. Why do I have to do that? I don't want to experiment unless I, down the road, I'm like, I get bored with these weapons. Okay, sure. I'll use an MP7. I'll use the Vector, whatever. I'm not a huge SMG guy, but if I get bored, I'll go ahead and start using those weapons. I don't want to be forced to do that to unlock all the attachments for a completely different weapon system. So that's back, and no one is a fan of that, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know what they were thinking with this, but it's returning to Modern Warfare 3. Congratulations, you pissed off everybody that likes unlocking stuff. Now, we do want to talk about the maps because the maps are remakes from Modern Warfare 2. A lot of people that played those games back in the day are gonna love this going in. However, I also feel like a lot of the original fans, myself included, are gonna get burnt out on these maps pretty quickly because we've already played them forever. We played them so long. I think it's cool that they're doing this. I feel like a good portion of the player base is just going to be like, okay, well, give us some new maps now. I want some new stuff. Give me some new things. Or I don't think this is going to be that big of a deal. It's going to be for the newer Call of Duty fans. Let's just say, for example, someone started playing during Modern Warfare 2019. Those people, with the exception for like Rust, because I think that was in that one, those people are going to come into this game and be like, wow, there's like 12 maps or however many maps at launch with another 16 post-launch over the course of 4 seasons. That's a lot of maps. For those people, it's gonna be pretty great because they haven't played those maps back in the day, So good for them. Maybe not so good for a lot of us that played it before. I know we're wearing these rose-tinted glasses, nostalgia's hitting us hard. It's gonna be a great time at launch, hopefully, assuming everything goes well. In the grand scheme of things, I feel like there is a chance for burnout with these remake maps, and that's where I get a little worried. So I really hope sometime down the line we get some new maps for the game, because I don't know if I want to be playing these maps over and over and over and over again in 2023 when I did that back in 2009. The only other thing I wanted to mention is skill-based matchmaking seems to be back, and I feel like there's two sides to this whole debate. One side not wanting skill-based matchmaking because it gets really sweaty at some points. If you have like 1 or 2 or 3 really good games, you get pushed into that next tier of ELO or something like that. I don't know how they're measuring this. And it's just a sweat fest, and it becomes really difficult to enjoy yourself because you're getting stomped for like a whole 10 minutes or however long that match lasts for. And then you got to do that again until you lose enough games to the point where you get brought back down to that lower elo and you can start either dominating the lobby, or you just, you're on par with somebody. But I feel like it's just two extremes. I'd never played a game where I felt like I was on par with the other team. It was always like, a bunch of bots in the lobby or fucking CDL people on the other team, you know what I mean? And then there's people on the other side that want to keep that just so they can maintain the status quo, or they want to deal with all that stuff. So there's these two camps that you're just not gonna please everybody with this. So whatever happens, you're gonna piss somebody off. In my experience, I don't really care much for SBMM in public lobbies for like team deathmatch or whatever. For things like ranked, yeah, sure, let's have that skill-based matchmaking. If anything, it should be rank-based, right? Do your placement matches, get a rank, you play within that rank until you do well enough to move up to the next one, traditional stuff, right? In the grand scheme of things, I'm not gonna be a huge fan of this overall multiplayer. I feel like this is gonna be something I'm only gonna be playing with friends to just kill time, have fun, not take it too seriously. I know there's a lot of people out there that take COD very seriously. COD is just not the game for me to take seriously. That Counter-Strike's more my jam when it comes to stuff like that. But I am looking forward to that campaign, so I will be playing that on this YouTube channel at some point. I'm planning on live streaming it. Not sure when I'll get around to it. I am going to try to stream the first campaigns from like 2019 Modern Warfare and last year's 2022 Modern Warfare 2, just to kind of lead myself into the third installment. I'm not sure how it's going to go. I'm kind of digging where the campaign's going with this. I just kind of hope that it's less leaning on nostalgia and they kind of remix things a little bit. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna start off from there. I'm ranting at this point, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up here. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe buttons because your boy is trying to grow the channel. Any help that I could get, I will appreciate. That being said, stay hydrated. I hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you next time. Have fun in COD, guys.